talk about a long intro.
I don't talk a lot. I don't say a word. I don't say a word. Was on my grind and now I got what I deserve. Fuck nigga. Hold on, wait a minute. You thought I was finished?
Y'all thought Meek was finished?
I thought he was finished.
Man, Meek is not finished. He got what he deserved.
Which is?
Freedom.
Yeah.
So Meek Mill, after what, 10 plus years?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2007, I think it started.
In the system. So what happened was he got a retrial. He pled guilty in his retrial to a misdemeanor gun charge. All other charges dropped. Meek Mill is officially off probation, free man. Talk about wins. You want to talk about a guy who was just stacking up the L's a few years ago.
Man, I thought he was finished.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We thought you were definitely finished.
Especially after the whole Drake thing.
For sure. I thought the Drake thing was going to be the end of him. Then he kept going back to jail. I was like, this is it. You can't rebound mentally from this.
Right.
And I thought his reputation was so tarnished. It was over. And now he's bigger than he ever could have been before, I think.
Did you end up watching the Free Meek documentary?
Sure did. I watched it first. I watched it before you.
I know. It was so good.
It was so good.
But, you know, a part of the reason I think he was able to hang around long enough to get this big win, even during the Drake beef, I feel like rappers in the rap world wanted Drake to go down, and they were hoping Meek had a shot, even though he got buried publicly. Privately, rappers were supporting him, because we've heard rumors that Jay-Z, privately in the middle of that beef, wanted Meek to win.
Yes, I think
he's also a client.
He's also what?
A client.
Yes. I think everyone hit up Meek like, yo, you got him.
I wish you were a little bit better of a rapper because you could have beaten the Jewish kid from Canada.
Yeah, it's just like the song took too long and was whack. But I think everyone was like, yo, you want vocals of him with a ghostwriter? Here you go.
Yeah.
You want this? You want that? Everyone pumped him up to just go jump off a bridge.
Yeah.
But that's also why they stuck around him, because you think about the people that even helped influence him getting out of jail. And
well, they weren't, I mean, they're not swayed by rap beef. Bob Kraft and Michael Rubin.
No, they're not.
They don't care.
That's a Philly connection with Michael Rubin.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, now he's out, he's free, he's off probation, he's friends with Drake. They have a record together.
Yeah.
He's on top of the world. He's the face of criminal justice reform, whether he likes it or not, because he said he doesn't want to be. But he's making a real impact. He just added such another level to his to who he is.
It's definitely the beauty of the modern media world we live in, where you can go from, I mean, complete loser, to a hero, and all because like, you know, you got arrested for some dumb shit hanging out.
People thought you got a raw deal. Everyone loves a comeback story. Everyone loves the guy against the ropes that makes it out.
Even if he got the right deal, I think people would be supportive of it. Like, even though I'm saying in terms of like, let's say he had some stupid charge from his past, but he corrected himself and he did good for society. That's good enough too.
Right,
Here's
but
what we know.
It's the combination of Robert Kraft, the Patriots owner, and Michael Rubin, who aren't black, who aren't in the rap industry, that took it upon themselves to make it their first foray into criminal justice.
And I would say that this is another one of the beauties of social media and so much news is there's nothing that people love more than a good story, regardless of what the story is. People just like to be able to follow a story. And this was an incredible story, and we were able to follow along for the whole thing. So, 20 years ago, let's just say whatever, none of the big news outlets picked it up, nobody would have cared. He would have just became irrelevant.
Yeah.
Now you get to follow the whole thing. You see him getting denied access to the Cosmo in Vegas. What's going on? Why aren't they fair to Meek?
Yeah. It's an interesting thing. Curious to see how the rest of his career plays out, because now the opportunities are endless. My hope is I never hear the words police and Meek Mill in the same line ever again.
Like together, or
like
him
in the
rapping?
news,
on
or
I don't want to hear about it in the news. Like, I don't want to get a
Of
speech.
course, yeah.
Like, don't get a DUI because don't. And by the way, like, you have to operate extra cautious. Some of the things when I was watching the video, you're popping wheelies with people on Instagram.
Yeah, that was stupid.
That's
Illegal
just,
streets.
Yeah, just stupid.
Yeah.
Like, why are you baiting the judge?
Yeah.
No matter what, like, you've been given this gift now. Just lead a very low key life in that. If you want to be on stage, do whatever you need to do, or in your songs. But like outside of that, why take the risk?
Lucky for him, financially, I don't even think it matters if he puts out more music, because he's already been knighted by.
But it matters for relevance.
He does.
Agreed.
Because if you're hot, people are going to listen to what you have to say about
That's why I
justice
said
reform.
financially.
Yeah, financially he's fine.
He's fine for the rest of his
It's
life.
just that if you want to be this bigger like thing,
Yeah.
it's all relies on hot music.
Yeah.
If he goes cold on music, no one's going to care about what you're talking about, the prison system.
I mean, think about, we said A$AP Rocky needs to put out music. How long has it been now? I feel like we already stopped talking about A$AP
He
Rocky.
put out a video yesterday.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
One person of the 5 of us know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
got to come with an album. Put out an album. It's
it
called
takes 2
Fuck
weeks.
Sweden.
I mean, that's what the difference between, didn't Tupac record all of All Eyes on Me and within like,
That's why he's the greatest
Tupac would have
rapper
wrote it
ever.
while he was in the Swedish jail.
Right.
Landed, hit the studio, shirt off, album out.
Yeah.
Thug life.
I mean, it's not fair to compare anyone to Tupac.
Well, come on, take a note.
It's a hard thing to do.
Okay. All right.
The other in other great rap news, past guest of the pod, John Turgeon, is in the new Drake music video, "Money in the Grave,"
Big.
which is filmed at my favorite restaurant, The Nice Guy.
Drake's favorite restaurant too?
Drake's
apparently.
favorite restaurant. So happened. I probably was there before he was.
Wow.
we definitely were because we were there at the opening.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we were just talking about what happens when you beef with Drake. So keep
Yeah.
that maybe on the.
So here's the
keep it to
thing:
yourself.
is Drake's fighting dummies. He hasn't fought anyone smart yet.
Meek's a good rapper.
Well, he did Kanye.
Kanye didn't.
What are you gonna go do though? Debate him on a stage?
Sure, come on the
Gonna go have
pod,
a-
Drake.
Gonna go have a
Come on the
spelling bee?
pod. Let's come on the pod and talk topics.
Dee versus Drake in a spelling bee. We'll solve this.
I mean, spelling. He's probably gonna win that one.
Yeah, he's a lyricist.
He should.
win.
I'm assuming he
Nobody
knows how
says
to.
he's spelling it right when he's writing it down in that little blackboard.
So there's a couple other interesting things in the video. So Turgeon's setting up the table for Drake and Rick Ross.
He's
And
looking
nice guy.
real
At Nice Guy.
mysterious and like cool too.
Yeah.
Props to John.
And then Zach Bia has a cameo at the end.
Big cameo. Not the actor.
No.
Not a big actor, that guy. Yeah. You know? Proud of him. And that was a great cameo, but he's not.
But he had to speak. That's got to be the first time he's speaking on a worldwide released anything content.
Yeah. Maybe practice a little bit.
Saying, take a couple classes.
And then third piece, Drake was wearing a Bronny jersey.
Yeah, he knows exactly
Yeah.
how to play the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just knows how to take that video. If you look at it, was so cool, but it was shot at Nice Guy, a restaurant he goes to all the time, his house in a basketball
It's
court.
so basic.
And some random field with a
That
backhoe.
video looks like it cost $25,000.
Yep, but it was so cool, and it's going to get so many views, and he's got a Bronny jersey and a this and a that.
Yeah,
All the right
Bronny is
things.
posting it. LeBron's posting it.
He knows
hot.
how to play this game. That's why he's Drake.
Playing a 14-year-old's jersey. 14-year-old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's smart. Bronny's more relevant than most people in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't name 50 NBA players.
5-0?
Yeah.
Shit, I couldn't name 8.
Yeah.
But you could name one Sierra Canyon high school basketball
I
player.
don't even know where Sierra Canyon is, or that they had a basketball team until Bronny got there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, good shit, Drake. I mean, that's why he's Drake.
Yeah.
Rick Ross, on the other hand, could have done without him.
Yeah, his verse on that song is 100% useless.
Yeah, I mean, have
I
you,
did-
you haven't switched a topic in 12 years?
No, I did appreciate his weight loss.
Yeah, but that's old news.
I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but I was in at Joe and the Juice in Brentwood a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone. I'm walking out. I got my juice and whatever. And I'm pretty sure Rick Ross was just in the corner drinking a smoothie.
I don't know, man. That was probably like a blogger.
Because I saw this dude that looked like Rick Ross that was so slim looking. And I was like, did Rick Ross, was that kind of weight?
But let's
he
be
have
clear,
jewelry?
Rick Ross isn't slim looking.
He's
just
slim.
not as
I'm
fat.
Just, yeah, he doesn't look big anymore.
I don't think a guy like Rick Ross leaves the hotel, the house, anywhere he's staying without at least 2 to 3 people.
Maybe
with
skinny
him.
Rick Ross does.
Skinny Rick Ross is like
You want to know where, if there's one place
Joe and the Juice.
that is safe to go. for
He's
it.
like getting robbed at Brentwood Joe and the Juice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good for Drake. Good for Meek.
Yeah.
Bad for Rick. Okay, I want to talk about, we've been covering this Popeyes sandwich ordeal all week, the last 2 weeks. Number one, just to circle back, I cannot believe how big of a deal this is. I mean, if you added up the free media that Popeyes got, I bet it's mind-blowing. It was huge last week. In internet world, for something to last a week and a half is like 3 years. So it's still the biggest thing in the world. The new thing is that stories are coming out about how overworked and absolutely exhausted Popeyes employees are. And all the photos online are like lines outside, sorry, we're sold out. I saw a photo of a Popeyes employee like taking a break and it said like a true American hero. You know, it looked like someone at like Ground
war.
Zero or something. And whatever. So that's where this has turned now.
So Carlos, an 18-year-old Popeyes crew member in the OC, Orange County.
Yeah.
I was working like a slave in the back, prepping the buns with pickles and the spicy mayo.
Gosh, Carlos, man, a hero. I just can't believe. I didn't realize, like I read some article that said that Chick-fil-A is like, I forget what, top 3 fast food revenue-wise restaurants, which I didn't realize.
Okay.
Obviously driven heavily by chicken sandwiches. So Popeyes was essentially like, well, shit, we're losing so much business. They drop a chicken sandwich, and this thing is like, I mean, I can't think of a better week for a CEO ever.
I bet you it wasn't just Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. I bet you fried chicken sandwiches all over the world saw a lift.
Yeah,
because you're just at like Applebee's and you're like, I wonder if their fried chicken sandwich is good. And
Yeah,
you're just,
for sure.
Yeah.
you're just,
It's just awareness of
it
fried
was a
chicken.
fried chicken moment.
Yeah.
Fried chicken's hot. In this article, it said that this is an issue more of like all the low income, like chicken sales are greatly up because it's a cheap, easy meal from these fast food restaurants and whatever. So they're just now got their foot in the game. But for sure, fried chicken. I mean, I just want to give a moment of silence to all the chickens out there because they are just rushing those things in as quick as they can.
They're getting their heads lopped off left and right.
At speeds like we have never seen before.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a play to like somehow make money off these chickens somehow.
Yeah, we should
Be the service that cleans up the dead chickens.
What about getting everyone's cholesterol test who ate 18 chicken sandwiches last week?
Yeah, well, I got a loser. We vote every week. We send out a form where all of our listeners can vote on Instagram.
Yeah.
Winner, loser content. And somebody put me as the loser because I ate 3 chicken sandwiches.
That's pretty good. But what was also reported by employees was how dangerous some of the locations were, which is what we were getting told anecdotally, how a lot of these Popeyes, a lot of fights.
Yeah.
I don't know what we can say yet, so I'm going to choose to say nothing. But the DMs we have been getting about our listeners that supposedly have very privileged information about the shit we talk about is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So we're going to share it as we can, and obviously we will never disclose our sources.
Yep.
But we have people that are listening to this pod that are in some nooks and crannies of this world.
I mean, yeah.
I'm talking about like, I can't even say it.
Pete, I think what you need to do is just when they send like that juicy gossip, say, can we share this anonymously? Because there's stuff on pretty much every topic we discuss. There's someone that works at the company. Our listener base is insane.
Insane.
Or
I mean, think about it. If we're at
the-
10 million, downloads an episode now.
Yeah. Imagine when we're at 100 million.
Imagine we're at 100. You can literally ask anything. They'd be like, "Oh, I was with Trump last night."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes on Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
I
She
am
was in the
Stormy
room.
Daniels. Hi.
Yeah.
I love the pod.
Yeah.
And this is
I
what
hooked up with
happened.
her too.
Here's a photo of Trump's penis. Oh shit. Anyway, so thank you to that for all of our listeners. You guys are good spies.
Yeah.
And shout out to Popeyes, man, because I can't. When it talks about when the internet goes right, this is it.
Yeah, it's insane.
Okay. This is also insane, and it makes me very, very happy. It looks like there has finally, after all this time, been some punishment laid out by these opioid giants the companies manufacturing these things, they've for a very long time been very complicit in, how strong the drugs are, how addictive the drugs are, ignoring, avoiding. It's literally like big tobacco when they were saying that there was no harmful, effects, or that their cigarettes weren't addictive. And it was always kind of like, whatever, they make so much money, they'll never get touched.
Yep.
And this is what it is. And when you really look at some of these cases, like I read a book about it called Dope Sick, and when you really look at like the cases and what has been brought up and just kind of squashed, it's mind-blowing. So first off is Johnson & Johnson has been ordered to pay $572 million for their role in the Oklahoma opioid crisis.
So this is just in the state of Oklahoma. We have 49 more states to go.
I mean,
And they asked for $17 billion.
They
what
asked
was
for
Facebook's?
5. 3 to 5. I forget.
Just
5,
saying.
yeah.
5 is what they're holding in cash
I think
reserves.
5
and,
they came down with.
And so $5 billion was Facebook, but Johnson & Johnson off of one state is already at $572 million.
And that's for the state of Oklahoma, who they are assuming for the first year of treatment for people that are addicted
Yeah.
is going to cost that much money. They were asking for $17.5 billion for 30 years of treatment because they said the damage is that much.
But don't they have like wrongful death and stuff like that, or no?
So there's thousands of lawsuits still to go through. So this is the first one.
All it takes is that first one.
And then Oklahoma. So you start reading more about this. Oklahoma's had 6,000 deaths since 2000.
Opioid deaths.
6,000.
Since when?
2000. So in the last 19 years, right?
Yep.
Think about how much money we spent after 9/11.
Yep.
Like what, $1 trillion?
Yep.
And how many people died? That 4,000 something people died in that one day, right?
In the one day, but then you go to military debts and stuff. It's
What I'm saying is, but because of that action,
sure.
we went and spent $1 trillion.
And
Because we value the lives of American citizens. If we value the life of American citizens, all these companies should be bankrupt to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It
I
just
have to believe. And what do you think it'll take in fines to bankrupt?
so Purdue Pharma, who's the biggest player in the opioid crisis,
Yep.
also they're fighting 2,000 lawsuits right now. They are suspected, that is rumored this afternoon, that they will go into bankruptcy protection, and part of it is a settlement of $10 to $12 billion. And then the public benefit trust takes over the company.
Yeah.
So whatever other monies that's generated will be run by the like a trust that will continue to finance all the medical issues that have been caused by this crisis. Don't mind the fact that the founders, the Sackler family, has fleeced billions of dollars on this whole process.
Oh, they are.
yeah, so from
savages.
2008 to 2016, the Sackler family has been dividend $4 billion.
So what do they care at this
So
point?
the
company's
company
going
goes bankrupt. They can't get
Sure.
to them individually. So
they're walking away with the sack.
yes,
Sacklers. It's a big old Sackler.
Yeah. And so, yeah, they're going bankrupt now. They killed the number that I think I saw for how many people have died since the year 2000 in America was just insane. I don't want to quote it wrong because it was just, I had to reread it like 8 times. 400,000 people have died of overdoses from painkillers, heroin, and illegal fentanyl since 1999. 400,000 people.
So, Drama, can you explain to me, walk me through? So, these pharma companies make OxyContin, all these different pills.
Yeah.
The crisis is what? Easy access to them, which is getting them addiction?
Overprescribing is the main thing.
So, shouldn't it's not just the maker that
No,
should be
it's
insured,
definitely not
right?
just the maker. But it's that the reason why the maker is so on the hook is because they've lied and manipulated information about how addictive the
Got it.
substances actually are. So sure, somebody should have regulated it better, and the doctors should also be on the hook. But the same way cigarette companies lied and manipulated data,
The pharma companies did the same.
They did.
But the doctors, and this is a fact within healthcare, when doctors are incentivized by pharmaceutical companies
Yep.
to hit certain goals and they get bonuses.
Yep. So, correct, and that's why the doctors are very much on the hook. But the problem is, if you really just want to go straight to the source, it's them, because they're the ones making it more addictive, making it stronger, and incentivizing doctors in very, like, I don't know. A doctor is definitely to blame, and I think these doctors are pieces of shit. But their incentives are so good, and these companies are so good at getting them to use their pills and getting them to, it's like a cop writing traffic tickets that just has to hit a quota, and so they're writing bullshit tickets, and does that really work long term? It's like you're just over prescribing pain medicine that's super addictive. You're making yourself believe that it's not because the company told you it's not, and people are coming in like crackheads to get it. So you go, I mean, the reason why I'm so happy is, of course, the family's not going to get jailed. Of course, they're not going to take their money. And of course, they're not going to go and handpick every doctor and punish them. But you are truly cutting off like the main source, and you're holding them finally accountable. What you're doing is you're saying you lied and you manipulated to do this and you caused damage. So once you finally publicly admit that, the whole conversation starts to change. Because now
It's
you can't
crazy
really
to
go
me.
back.
So just to kind of tie the knot on that, so I 100% agree with what you're saying, and the way you describe it makes a ton of sense.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is there's multiple layers to the problem.
Yeah.
And this will solve this problem
Yep.
until the next drug is made to cause the next national
Guaranteed.
crisis.
Absolutely.
So we're kind of just, we're smacking down one problem, but not really getting to the entire cause of it,
Yep.
which is obviously the way physicians are prescribing it, the way insurance companies are covering it,
Yep.
because there's money made at each layer.
Yep.
And that's the only sad part, because yes, these pharmaceutical companies are going to go bankrupt, and there's going to be fines paid, and
Nobody's going to go to jail.
no one's going to jail.
400,000 people died.
And-
No one goes to jail. 400,000. That is like
It's like the
freaking
financial
genocide.
But yeah, so it's just kicking the can down the road until we figure out mango jewel pods killed everyone.
Well, interesting you say that. There's a study that came out about vaping diseases today,
Yeah.
and how now all this data is coming out. It's going to be interesting. So like Altria came out today, may merge with, is it Reynolds? No. They're the big tobacco merger.
Okay.
I don't want to butcher who the second company is. But all this vaping data is coming out now,
Yep.
that of all these problems.
Yep.
Obviously, Altria has a huge position in Juul.
Yep.
Smoking is down.
Yeah.
No one wants to lose money.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? Because this is also going to be an issue 20 years from now. We'd be like, I can't believe people used to vape.
Big time.
I mean, we can predict it. It's 100%
That's
going
100%
to
going to
happen.
happen.
Yeah.
100%.
And we're sitting there and everyone's like,
And there's going to be so much money made along the way, and the holdco, the parent company, goes bankrupt, but
Yeah.
all the people along the way made money with no recourse.
That's true. But I would argue that, first of all, I just want all of our listeners to know I quit Juuling.
wow,
Did you really?
Yeah,
I actually haven't noticed you have one.
yeah, I haven't touched my Juul in probably 3 weeks. So, if anyone out there was trying to be like me, and Juuling because I was Juuling, put it down.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving forward. But I don't know. The thing that I hate, you could go down this road on everything. Food is the same way. Food is killing people at an insane rate.
Yeah. I mean,
supersize, you know what I'm saying? Like
the chicken wars are going to have as much damage on society as
the deaths that are going to be birthed out of the chicken wars.
Yeah, because there's studies that sugar is addictive. So putting more sugar and stuff makes things more addictive. And
Yeah.
So
But at least
I get
here's
it,
what I
but,
like. Here's what I like. At least the problem is when you were letting Purdue and all these people get away with murdering people and lying for profit, you're just encouraging people to do it. Whereas at least by making an example out of them in some way, you're showing, hey, Juul, this will be you if you do it. Now, is it so bad to have $4 billion and bankrupt your company? Maybe you want to be that. But I just think as a whole, we don't look out for the health of people.
No, yeah.
We're saying grab a pack of cigarettes, get a Popeye's chicken, or grab a Jewel, get a
'Cause-
Popeye's chicken sandwich, supersize that Coke.
And then guess what?
frickin'
We'll sell you
binge
health
watch-
insurance.
Binge
for
watch some Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And then when you get surgery, we'll give you Oxycontin.
yeah.
Come on.
That's the full circle.
Full
How can you
circle.
lose?
It's the circle of American capitalism.
But here's the important lesson I want to come from group chat. That's just the way it is. So don't rely on what is available to you to be healthy. Like,
Yeah.
look out for yourself.
Yeah, go do research.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know cigarettes are bad, don't eat them. You know these chicken sandwiches and supersized Coke.
Well,
are
don't
bad,
eat cigarettes. That sounds bad.
That's not what I meant. You get the point.
It probably
but you know what I'm
healthier to
saying?
eat them than smoke.
Like, look, like, you know, there's all this data
True.
about social media. There's all this data about sitting and binge watching Netflix. So just don't do it. No one's going to come save you.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting there saying, "Oh, I'm fat and have lung cancer and diabetes
And
and whatever,"
addicted to
how come nobody saved me? I don't like
That's
nobody's
your
going to
fault.
save you.
Yeah. At this point, there's enough information available to everyone, and it is your choice.
Yeah.
You know, and if you choose to live that way, that's on you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the opioid thing is different, but everything else that's in our control
Yeah.
Yeah.
isn't.
Agreed. Okay, moving on. You want to talk about how different people in power handle different problems. Let's talk about this fire in the Amazon. So the Amazon's burning. You know, there's obviously been, you know, we talked about some mixed reports on what images are coming from where. But all that aside, the Amazon is on fire. There is a dramatically increased amount of fires in the Amazon. And, you know, it looks like a bit of a crisis. It seems like nobody's really doing anything about it. Now, the Brazilian president is saying that before he'll accept this $20 million that he's being offered to fight these fires, he needs the French president to say, "I'm sorry for being mean to you. And I'm not doing anything about these fires until you say I'm sorry, because my feelings are hurt." Right?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't give a shit about the Amazon. Let it burn in his eyes.
Because you want a sorry. I mean, Jesus Cristo. This is like...
They have a big one there in Rio.
What?
A big Jesus Cristo
Oh, they do have a big-
in Rio.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's just like whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to sit and complain, but this is just more of like the...
Pettiness.
just petty ego. It's just funny how like we're literally talking about the Amazon on fire and like, you know, real long-term damage to the earth.
Yeah.
And this guy wants a sorry because his feelings are hurt.
What's even more impressive is it's $20 million.
Yeah.
People gave $1 billion to redo the cathedral in Notre Dame.
Oh yeah.
Or
That's
Notre
a big,
Dame.
yeah.
That is a joke. Everyone's talking about how important the Amazon is, and you got $20 million. Guess what? Amazon ain't fucking important, apparently. Because $20 million is piss money.
Yeah, but to
Piss.
rebuild one of the iconic structures in the world gets you press.
Yeah, the problem is you see it and you understand it and you're like, oh my God, there's so much in there. And I went there one time and now I'm a billionaire. Here's 10 million.
Yeah.
And you get covered and you get into like royalty within Europe. You're the guy that helped.
Amazon,
rebuild-
you're like,
Like
what?
Leo
trees?
can
We have plenty of
20
trees.
million that for the Amazon. He loves the environment so much.
I thought he started like a fund or something.
For Amazon?
Yeah.
I mean, just give the money.
But I mean, come on. You need a sorry because your feelings were hurt. What happened? He told the guys they had an ugly wife?
I just don't actually think anyone cares about the Amazon.
Was it that? It was a beef between wives, right?
Yeah, it was a beef between.
Macron
Yeah,
and this
that
guy.
basically he compared his wife to the Brazilian's wife, and the Brazilian's wife like, "Whoa, my wife is a lot prettier," and the French guy Macron got pissed.
Maybe we needed a poll.
Who's prettier?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, we need a poll tomorrow, Pete. Whose wife is prettier?
Yeah.
Let's solve this.
Solve the problem once and for all.
Okay. Well, anyway, listen, I hope we figure it out. I just feel like, no, I want to be careful because it's always been this way. People have always been this way. I don't like when people say like, oh, everything is going to shit. And like, it was much worse in
People
the
have
past.
always been petty.
Yeah, when it comes to pettiness and ego, it has always been
Yes.
on 1,000.
It's just we now know about it because information's available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
didn't know that there was like prime minister beef 10 years ago.
I'm sure there's
And it was
so
over
much.
the dumbest shit. They used to just probably murder people for
I'm
the
sure there was
dumbest shit.
wars started over pettiness.
Of course.
World wars.
I wonder if you could look at how many deaths were caused by pettiness since, 1800.
Millions.
Millions.
Yeah, easily.
Sheesh. Okay. All right. Next up, let's talk about Netflix.
Yeah.
I want to say to our listener, you should really check out the Dave Chappelle special. Now, the reason why is it's really good, but we're going to wait and talk about it on a later episode because Dee is the only one of us that hasn't watched it yet. And I do think it's worth giving like a real thoughtful sort of having a discussion about.
Okay.
So everyone else watch it. We'll all talk about it together.
Yep.
That being said, Netflix is testing out a bit of a new strategy. It looks like they are setting up to have to release some of their new content in theaters on some level. It looks small. It looks, what would you say, 30 days?
21.
3 to 4 weeks.
One movie is only 7 days.
Would it be, does it say, would it be in theaters and then it would go to Netflix?
Yes.
Not simultaneous.
Correct. This is all, it's kind of giving in to what Spielberg's complaint was.
You got the power.
Because this is all for awards, right?
This is for getting cinematic directors on board with Netflix content.
I'm pretty mind blown that almost anyone would give a shit if you're a big director about it not being in movies. And only
No,
being in
I think they do care.
But what
I'll
at
tell
what
you,
point
'cause-
are you? To me, it's almost like a big artist being like, I don't want my music streamed, and I'm only going to make music if it's on vinyl. 'Cause
No,
it sounds
I
better.
think it's different because, and I agree with this because like I've watched like let's say these like big movies, Avengers or whatever,
When's the last time you went to the theater?
like 2 years ago. But I understand the difference is when you go to a theater and you've like Dark Knight. I'm sure if you saw Dark Knight in a theater
Yeah.
versus on your phone, it's a much different experience. And the person that shot, directed, music, all the people that worked on that film shot it with the idea that it's a in theater experience.
Yep.
So that's why people like those true creatives care about that. Most people are going to watch at home on like a piece of shit TV.
Yeah.
I don't even have the sound up most of the time. I'm just reading the captions because I don't want to wake my kid up.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's how I'm consuming. And that's not how they want it to be consumed.
But to me, what if you said, just in theory, like it is a fact that with the right setup, music sounds substantially better on vinyl than streamed on iTunes.
Yeah.
Also, the amount of creative direction that goes into album art, into the mixing of all that stuff.
Yeah.
What if you said, no, I'm only releasing music and albums on vinyl so that you can see the photo, you can get the full
You better be a
experience.
hot enough artist to do that.
But I'm just saying that long term, nobody is. And so all I'm
Yeah.
saying is I'm surprised that almost anyone, I'm surprised there's not like just one or two directors that would say, no, I'm not going to work on anything unless it's, I'm just surprised. I'm not saying, I don't want to, people can do whatever they want, but I'm just surprised because it's everything's so clearly going here. Why aren't you morphing what you do to the new way that content is consumed instead of demanding that we stay put in time somewhere?
But if you think about the movies even this year that are going to gross over $1 billion, they're in the theaters. It's because they're special effects heavy. It's
Yeah.
Avengers, Endgame, Spider-Man, Lion King,
Yeah.
and those are experiences that you won't get at
On your
home
phone.
streaming on your TV versus being in a theater.
I just think that that's
So there is like a subset of movies where theater is still important.
what I'd like to see is if you compare the streaming numbers of those movies versus normal movies once they hit Netflix or Apple TV. Do you see what I'm saying? Once it's available, equal, I believe those movies are probably streamed equally as large as the competition. I think the numbers probably sort out. I don't think that those movies are available or are doing so well because those type of movies aren't available on streaming platforms. You can't watch The Rock's new film on Netflix. I think once they all sort out to, okay, now it's an even playing field, the numbers are probably similar.
So I saw that Sean Parker is working on a new startup where he wants to charge $50 to see a movie the day it comes out at home.
Love it. Sign me up.
If
Yeah,
you think
you-
about it, it's
If you're
cheaper-
a family,
yeah,
a family of four,
even if you're two
Yeah.
two people.
Movies are
It's $18
expensive. Gas,
to go to
parking.
$17.50 plus you're gonna park. You're gonna get suckered into some sort of food item or drink. You're well over $50.
Some Junior Mints.
That's not a bad deal. It sounds aggressive, but
Yeah.
it's not. I just don't think.
A movie ticket is $17.50.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
it's 32 at iPick.
$32?
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous. But they're also bankrupt or whatever.
Yeah, they are bankrupt.
Yeah,
They
so
are
that didn't work. It had to be 80.
Yeah. I mean, geez. Yeah, $50 all day then.
But that's all I'd like to see. And I just think that anytime what we've seen is massive giants have been taken down by just things changing and not adapting. And I just think I'm surprised that these guys aren't. At the end of the day, your goal is to make art and have your art seen by as many people as possible. And I think if you're Steven Spielberg, that has to be your goal, right? It's not to be niche.
Well, I guess this may satisfy both. Like we want the 3 weeks in the theater because we want people to appreciate that. Then
I love that.
the rest can just stream.
Yeah, I think it is a hybrid model what they're doing. I think it's progressive of them to do it.
I would just say that I think this is Netflix saying, all right, mother effers.
Yeah.
We'll give you what you want for now, but soon enough, you're all going to be doing this.
Yeah.
Why isn't popcorn consumed in any other public venue
I'll
the
tell
way
you why.
it's consumed in the movies?
It's disgusting.
But why is no? It's not
Popcorn is
disgusting.
disgusting.
I
But
think it's
Everyone is
psychological.
good. You know why? Because it's so cold. It's dark. They're like, you're just gonna shove some loose corn that was popped in some heat, and you'll eat that
You
shit.
load it up with butter and salt. It's incredible.
But don't they?
You can load up anything with butter and salt.
At
It's
sporting
good.
events, you don't think they do?
Popcorn.
I mean,
Dodger
they
game?
sell it, but they don't. It's not even close.
Yeah, you're getting nachos. You're getting better
I
stuff.
honestly think it's probably like psychological. Like there's
I
a
think so, too.
connection to movies and popcorn.
yeah.
And there's
Just saying,
subliminal messages in the previews. They're like feeding you
Go
with
get
the
your Coke. Get your Coke and
Anyone
popcorn.
on earth should be fighting for movies in theaters. It's fucking the popcorn industry.
Yeah.
Because the moment that shit's done, it is dead.
Yeah,
and
'cause-
all those candies. No one's
It's like,
even-
who's at home popping corn? Get out of here.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Okay.
No chance.
All right. Well, when it comes to people that are changing with the times and looking at the future and making moves early, Adidas is making a move that shows they are exactly that.
What are they doing?
They are doing a deal with Ninja. So let me just say, number one, props to Adidas. I'm sure they're trying to figure out their next, thing. How do you keep the relevancy going, or get it back? Maybe. I think it seems like a lot of fashion companies have been kind of tiptoeing into gaming. But last but not least, man, props to frickin' Ninja, because this guy probably grew up a frickin' dork playing video games, and he hit the lotto.
He fleeced Microsoft for however much.
I heard 100 million.
Okay, so if that's true, Adidas is what, another 10 mil?
Ugh,
Probably
a
more,
year.
right?
No, Adidas can't.
10 mil a year.
No
Yeah.
way. Zero chance.
I mean, they paid Derrick Rose.
Yeah, but
some
they don't think
ungodly
like that.
number, like $300 million.
Because you know
We're
why?
going to find out. One of our Cathys did the deal.
Yeah.
I'll
We're
tell
gonna
you
find
why.
out. It's going to be mind-blowing.
I'm sure it's a big number. I'll tell you why. Is Adidas can't go to Foot Locker and says, okay, in your 3,000 stores or how many stores, we're going to drop the Ninjas on a Saturday. Are you guys down? And the buyer's going to be like, huh? What?
Okay, let me just do this because we're going to find out. What's your guess?
I think they paid him 5 to 10 million
Total.
total.
Over the course of any guess of length?
I bet you it's just like a couple, so many shoes, so many apparel drops.
Yeah.
They'll call it a few years.
Okay, Anand,
over $10 million a year.
how many years?
I think with incentives, he can earn over $30 million in 3 years.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same number. Okay, we'll find out.
Yeah, find it.
His
Kathy
attorney
will tell us
listened
by
to the
tomorrow, yeah.
podcast, so
Yeah,
hit us up.
I believe it.
Good stuff, though, man. I mean, gosh, talk about you just hit it.
Yeah.
Like you hit it. This is to me like literally. I don't know what's comparable. It's like being the John D. Rockefeller of a new sport.
Yeah.
So
Like you just happen to be first. You happen to be the biggest star when a new sport was born
created.
that nobody knew. There's no corporate league. Like it just you are the guy.
You're the guy.
So what, Ninja's the first individual to secure the bag like this.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of centered around teams. So you have 100 Thieves, FaZe Clan, you have all these different teams.
Yep.
And I feel like the teams are going to make the money, but the individual talents are like kind of UFC style.
Well, I
I
think
would
'cause
treat it
the play-
exactly like basketball. I think the team, like how much is it to put Nike on your jersey? and then the star gets a separate
deal.
I do,
But
man.
here's the thing: as obviously a non-gamer, so I'm sure someone can correct us if we're wrong. From what I understand, to have longevity at the top is like real. There's only like a couple ninjas ever, whereas these other kids burn out. Like
nobody knows
Ninja
what-
wasn't even
21
in the
and they're
finals.
out.
But this is what I would argue. Nobody knows what longevity even means yet because there is no system.
Yeah.
It's all so new that right now it's just like a clusterfuck of people coming and going, and then you have a couple of ninjas. It's weird and messy. I think when this thing comes more and more legit, you're going to have ninjas. I think there will be 30 ninjas in 2 years.
So
And I think there'll be the biggest teams, and then there'll be the FaZe Banks and the ninjas, and you know what I mean?
I think it's going to be the opposite. You're going to have a bunch of FaZe clans and 100 Thieves and these types of teams that are just going to be minting money, but the actual individual talents is just going to cycle
Okay,
through.
I'll tell you why, because you might be right, and I can't wait to check. The reason why, because we're both just guessing, I think it would go the other way, is because you're not taking into consideration social media. So a lot of these stars, if you look at a team, there's usually 1 or 2 stars. It's because their vlogs are better, their Instagram is
Twitch.
better. It's not just people playing with jerseys on.
It's
and
the personality.
It's you build outside of that.
You're like, I'm
I
sure.
could see that, but if you're getting displaced by the next 15-year-old and you're just not even competitive because there's 4 new 15-year-olds.
Ninja wasn't even in the final group at the World Cup.
But he was like, just captured that
it's
moment,
like
right?
poker.
It's that Drake moment, which really catapulted
Yeah.
all this stuff. There's no like coincidence that after Drake signed on Twitch and played with Ninja, that
No, that's just how you saw it. I'm telling you, bro.
He was already
that's
on
your
there.
perspective on it.
no, but I
That
don't
was
think he would have
Drake.
gotten the eyes of Microsoft and Adidas.
Microsoft, 100%.
Absolutely. I'm telling you.
He would've gotten Microsoft.
Ninja got Drake's attention.
Yeah.
Not vice versa.
Agree, but I think to the point, like D hated esports until he saw Drake play Ninja.
Yeah,
That's
that's
like-
me. But I'm not the consumer.
Yeah, but he's not the consumer.
I'm not the
No, but
consumer.
I'm saying the mainstream guy.
It was there.
That
It
doesn't
was
even
a-
play games. We like none of us play games.
I know, but we
Ninja.
still didn't. So
It's
we
too
weren't
early.
affected by it.
It's too early. I'm telling you, there is something happening that Drake recognized and said, I want to be involved with this. I'm going to go get the top guy right now.
Yeah, I agree with the way
But that
Drake thought of
thing
it.
that made
right?
Drake know he needed to get in on it.
Was already
that
happening.
thing is already happening, and it's growing year over year over year. I just think like it is already blowing our minds what this has become in the last, I'd say, 2 years. In the next 5, I think it's gonna like blow our minds.
yeah.
Yeah, no question about the esports in general. Like it's obviously already been written that's
Yeah.
going to happen. It's just who's going to be able to monetize it the best is what we're basically debating.
Yeah, I mean, I think players, well, the reason why the stars matter, it's like in sports. If there was a Cleveland Cavaliers Nike shoe, no one would buy it. It's the LeBron James shoe.
But LeBron's also been the best at his craft for 15
But
I
how
know,
much
but it
extra
doesn't
money do you
matter.
think? Give me a percentage of how much extra money you think that LeBron has made because he's LeBron, his personality.
That's probably where most of his money came from.
Yeah, of course, but it's also it's coupled with being the best.
Exactly.
But it doesn't-
But in that you can't tell me in sports you can't name another athlete that's been able to monetize for 15 years without being at the top or near the top of their craft.
But that's sports.
Where
this
and
is
if-
different.
This is esports.
But I'm just saying,
No,
so-
but it's different.
I think
so
you're going
much-
to need both. You're going to need to be the best vlogger,
Yes.
Instagram, and you have to be the best.
That's a fact. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying I think that you're discounting all of the presence that these guys have outside of just playing games on Twitch.
Yeah, they're rock stars.
They're rock stars, and some have more than others. The same way NFL, NBA, mainly NBA, have outside of the sport. That dictates kind of how much you make. Are you bankable? Are you whatever? Your personality, what you're all about. It'll be the same way, I think. Similar.
Yeah, I guess my only point is you can't discount the actual craft. You have to couple it with everything.
Of course. Okay. Well, we'll see. I like these predictions. We got to write some of these down.
Okay.
Okay, next up, let's talk about Amazon, not the one that's on fire, the one, well, it's also on fire. Not the one with a bunch of trees, the one with a bunch of clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
The Jeff Bezos one. Apparently there's kind of this issue happening where, you can sell all these small businesses and anyone with a product, it seems like, can sell their product on Amazon. What's happening now is there's thousands of unsafe or mislabeled or faulty products on their platform.
So Wall Street Journal did a investigation and they found 4,152 items for sale on Amazon.com that have been declared unsafe by federal agencies, are deceptively labeled or banned by federal regulators. So among these are toys and medication lacking warnings about health risks to children. And what the challenge is that a Walmart or Target would be held to a much higher standard of what can be physically in their store. But because of the marketplace system of Amazon, they're not able to regulate every single. I could find fake stuff on Amazon all day, and I have found it. And so I think the challenge. This is a very similar challenge that Facebook and Twitter are dealing with. Yep. It's a challenge of having a platform and not actually policing it to the fullest. Yeah. Because it's not that hard to list an item on Amazon. It's pretty easy. Yeah. It's a little bit harder to get it on Prime. It's a little bit harder to get reviews, a little bit harder to be Amazon's choice, but like you can figure it out. You can game it. Mm-hmm. Like I've met enough people in the last 6 months and understanding on how Amazon works that if you're a clever person, you'll figure it out really fast. Yeah. And you'll be able to sell something that maybe you couldn't sell anywhere else, but you can sell on Amazon. And they're going to have to deal with this. Is a serious problem because eventually regulators are going to come and you don't want them to start putting restrictions on your business because they don't understand it. This one, if I was Amazon, I would be pouring billions of dollars on figuring this problem out before regulators ever come. Yeah. Have stricter regulations, because if they start putting in like, you know what, every vendor needs to be visited by Amazon or some stupid thing like that, they'll hold up the business for years to come. So I just think this is something that like they know what the problem is. They just have to enter more barriers for sellers.
Yeah, there definitely has to be a quality control component going forward, because they're doing the same thing that what Dee said is Facebook did. Just get as many users, get as many people posting, and we don't care what the hell the information is. Yeah. And now Facebook's just paying some fines to figure it out. Yeah. It's a little more complex for Amazon because the average congressional leader understands, oh, this product's bad. It has pesticides, and it doesn't say it. Or
like this woman bought a helmet.
It's way harder to explain what user privacy actually means to a congressman because they don't get that. Yeah. But they understand buying a product equals bad. But I do think Amazon is like almost, unfortunately, at like a too big to fail type situation where they're going to continue to run into these problems because they're acquiring so much growth every year. Yeah. And they'll end up paying fines.
Yeah.
But I think in this case, it's like, for example, there's been like a helmet that someone bought for their child and the child died because the helmet was faulty and Amazon didn't put the right labeling on what not to use the helmet for. So this one can get ugly really fast and hurt the reputation for no reason.
But I agree that they have to institute more quality control because clearly there's an issue. This is obviously a sample size, so we just don't know how widespread it really is. But I'm sure in the terms and conditions when you're buying from a seller, it says this is the seller and you, and we're just the platform.
Yeah, then they should just sell cocaine.
That's what the dark web you've been talking about.
Yeah, Amazon should just control it. Yeah. You will get free shipping for the dark web.
It's a big business.
Amazon Dark Web Prime is $1,000 a year.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
you get overnight delivery,
mushrooms,
cocaine,
guns,
whatever you want.
Yeah, that's
guns.
Cool. You should start that.
You're trying to shoot someone in 3 hours? Let me bring you a gun.
You want to get high first?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll get you that in an hour.
Yeah. Holy cow. Okay. Well, I just think it seems to me like across the board, once again, never before in history, this thing of the internet and the platforms built on it got so much bigger and so much more widely accepted than regulators or anyone could even understand to put any infrastructure
And
around.
I know everyone says too big to fail, but like Standard Oil was like bigger than what Amazon is today in the oil market in America, and it got broken the fuck up. And so there is going to be regulators in our lifetime that are smart, that grew up on this internet era. Probably some 22-year-old kid at like Harvard right now, and just like, you know what?
Well, don't you dare let AOC get in there, man.
Big tech ruined my family. I'm taking them down. And this kid's going to study every little thing. Yeah. I'm just telling you, I don't think they're too big to fail. I think everything can be disrupted. And I feel that these things have...
I think everything can be disrupted by other private companies. I just I just think our political system's so broken.
No, but we've
that-
broken up things in the past.
Yeah, but you're talking about the early 1900s.
We should be smarter now.
We should, but we're not.
I just
Let's
don't.
go back and watch the Zuckerberg at Congress. Then.
I understand, but you're talking about a bunch of dinosaurs interviewing like a person.
I'm
from the
saying,
future.
but that's how the system
Look
works,
who's
right? It's like,
running
it'll
next.
always
I know,
be
but
The
I'm
most
saying-
likely competition for president is a 76-year-old and a 78-year-old.
I know, but I'm saying there's a 22-year-old kid at Harvard right now who's like, dad's life was ruined because of Amazon.
But here's the problem: the people that will listen to him don't vote.
No, but they don't.
It'll always be dinosaurs in Congress. I
No,
think.
but he could be a investigator at Department of Justice. I'm just saying these things are going to. These all also happened all in the last 10 years. It's so new.
Yeah. I hope you're right. I just think that what's going to happen is in 20 years, there's going to be another set of dinosaurs, and we'll be talking about like, oh, my kid murdered a guy on virtual reality, and I don't really know how that works. Am I guilty? Like it'll
Yeah,
be some
but
whole
we'll
other
be
thing.
fixing some other problem that's happening right now. Will get fixed. It'll just be 10 years.
We'll
from
do
now.
the like what we just did to Purdue Pharma. It'll be like Facebook.
Yeah,
gives
bankrupt.
$20 million settlement 20 years from now.
But maybe they bankrupt them and they end him.
Yeah, and Zuckerberg lives literally on Mars.
That's fine. He's gone, but his platform's gone.
Yeah.
Also.
The damage is done though. This is to me, this is kind of an issue of like we said, like Jules right now, we know in 20 years, all these diseases are going to be popping up.
Yeah.
To me, even though it's not as clear as like smoke this and get diseased, it is doing damage that
Yeah.
we're not going to fix for years. I'm just worried.
Yeah, it just takes time. But everything does correct
But
itself.
the
hey,
issue
group
is
chat
that
episode 33,000.
Amazon provides so much value to consumers,
Yep.
and regulators will tell them, "Hey, you got to fix these things." But we know it provides so much value to the American households that fix this, but we're not going to disrupt the way Americans consume goods.
It's
because
the same
it's just the worst way of life.
We're not going to correct the way Americans consume content.
No.
And so the idea of news or being informed on what is happening is gone. It's gone.
yeah, I mean, nobody watches the news either, so it doesn't matter.
Because why would you do that when you got some sick ass Facebook vid of some KKK rally down the street? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think any of these companies are too big to fail. I honestly don't.
Yeah, I hope that you're
I
right.
think if they operate recklessly,
Yeah,
it'll correct itself.
I agree. I said the same thing about Facebook.
Yeah.
I forget what my prediction was, but it was obnoxious.
Okay.
Okay. Next up, good news for you, D. I don't know what your life savings is looking like, but I got a place for you to put it.
All right, I'm ready.
Peloton
All right.
has officially filed for their IPO.
This is a big
The
moment for me.
numbers are in.
Big
It's looking
moment.
good. I mean, it is just like growth, profit, revenue goals. I don't even know where to start.
I mean,
Customer
they are
acquisition.
an absolute toilet company.
Are they? I didn't look.
Okay, 915 million in revenue,
Yeah.
up 110% from 435 million in 2018.
All right.
Phenomenal.
All right.
100% growth at that level is unbelievable.
Okay, I'll take it.
You like that, right?
Sign me
In
up.
2018, they lost a little money. They lost $48 million.
Okay.
Not bad.
No,
You know,
whatever.
just losing 48 on 400. That's not that bad. It's
No
nothing.
biggie.
And this year, 245 million in losses.
Okay.
This
man.
is Joe.
Joe doesn't know what a Peloton is.
Why do?
He's
wait,
saving up for a Peloton.
wait. You spend $2,200 on a bicycle, and then you have to pay $40 a month. My day, we just went to Walmart and bought a bike, and it was like $200, and that's all the fuck it was.
Joe does not curse. He's
Joe
a nice
doesn't
Christian
curse,
man.
yeah.
And him and
No,
Joe.
when Joe saw the bike was $2,200 and $39 a month, Joe's a little PO'd.
So here, I'll objectively talk about this because we know where D stands. The numbers could have been 500 million in profit, and D would have shit.
No, if it was 500 million in profit, I would have been like, this is unbelievable
here's the real
business.
concern is that similar to Lyft, Uber, the metrics are a little confusing on how they calculate churn. The S1, keep in mind, is only like 2 hours old at this point, so we've gotten to read it. But what I glean from like just early analysis is that some of the subscriptions are 12 to 36 months, and all their growth is if you double revenue year over year, because only 181 million of The 900 million is the service or subscription business. The rest is just selling more bikes, and you're locking in new users and new monthly subscribers. The issue is we have no idea what that churn is for all the growth.
The last 12 months.
The last 12 months. We have no clue what that churn is. So the way I view it kind of objectively, they're like, okay, we did 437 million. Let's crank up marketing. We can show incredible churn, say we're a SaaS business, and act like we're Slack, which actually has clear lock-in. And we know the recession's coming. Everyone's getting out in 2019. They're going to get out, and they're going to get out at a ridiculous valuation.
Yeah.
Those are two things I can guarantee.
Yeah, I
think
agree
there's
with
no
that. question
they're going to be at some obscene valuation.
And the stock will get halved in the first 3 months.
No, I think it'll take like 12 months, 12 to 20.
Why?
Because the churn numbers, you won't. I don't think you'll know what the true churn is for another like 2 years because there's so much. It's locked
Everything
up.
else got halved. They're going to get halved too.
No, but their business is just structurally different. Because
you should start seeing some of that churn data at the end of this year.
because the early bike purchasers are
obviously,
the
for the first
ones that
year.
are never going to churn.
Yeah.
Because they're the first movers. They're like, I love my Peloton. The last 12-month Peloton riders is what you're really concerned about. Like those are people that saw the commercial and be like, oh, this is cool. Not the avid guy that was a soul cyclist that's like, I need to do this in my house. Yeah. And they're going to get out. They're going to get out some ridiculous valuation. I can guarantee that. The issue is you really don't know what these metrics look like going forward, which is the scary thing. And the biggest joke I saw on tech Twitter today is people were comparing it to the Apple iPhone. There's
Playoffs!
Let me just
iPhone? The iPhone changed the world.
No,
this is
hold on.
a fucking bike.
No, it's the same investors in
Not even a
Peloton.
bike. It doesn't go anywhere.
You can't even go to at least Uber you get places.
No, hold on. Let me just say.
I hate everyone in Silicon Valley.
And they're
Morons.
saying it's like iPhone margins, MMR monthly recurring revenue of a SaaS business is the greatest company of all time. It's
Sick
like
of all this sass.
550,000 bikes have been sold, okay? And treadmills. Do you know how many iPhones have been sold? I just looked up
2
before
billion.
the episode. 700 million.
Okay.
I can't even. It's a joke.
I'm so mad.
And I'm going to be honest. I was Team Peloton.
bright
I was
red.
all about
I'm
it.
so mad. This is a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke.
These people should be in jail. These just like selling opioids.
It is. It is. Can I ask you a
It's
question?
the exact same thing.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think that ever, and maybe I'm very, very wrong here, and I apologize if I am, has ever in history more total number of losses in IPOing companies ever happened? Do you understand what I'm trying to ask?
99
Yeah.
was horrendous.
That happened
Those
a
are
lot.
complete bullshit companies.
Got it.
It was all just fake bullshit.
And they didn't even do revenue back then.
Yeah.
These companies are at least doing monster revenue numbers.
It's all a lie, though.
So they think they're going to go out at 8 billion is the valuation. My favorite part.
Is there any way we can make Young and Reckless a SaaS company?
Yeah, you get a tie-dye hoodie every month.
Yes.
Guys, if you go to youngandreckless.com/SaaS, we call it Keep It Sassy.
Young and sassy.
Yeah, Young and Sassy. We have a new subscription. So we have a multiple now of 82.
So the chief, the CEO and the co-founder in the S1 says that Peloton doesn't sell bikes. We sell happiness. Peloton sells
off.
happiness. Happiness.
Yeah, it's a joke. That's actually criminal.
I mean, I'm sorry. This is Purdue Pharma. Burn this company to the ground.
so it's funny is because do you know what the next iteration of the Peloton bike and treadmill is? The row machine.
Yeah.
So some of the same investors in
Yeah.
Peloton are backing the new row machine.
Yeah.
Different
So that-
company?
It's
company.
rowing for
But I just-
$2,500.
I thought maybe Peloton was going to make treadmills, rows, fucking mirrors.
No, there's another company that's going to go out for $5 billion selling row machines.
Yeah.
So the investors are just going to keep making money over and over again.
Yeah.
This is robbery.
It is
This
robbery.
is freaking robbery.
Because
Yeah.
that Peloton, the person who could afford the Peloton bike could also afford the row. And if he likes the row more, that
He's gonna
subscription to
cancel.
Peloton's done, and
Yeah.
they're throwing the Peloton away.
Yeah. I told you my Instagram, the Peloton
Graveyard.
graveyard.
They're hard to move.
You know what's going to happen? You're going to be so angry that you paid $2,239. You're just going to have this rage, and you're just going to start throwing shit out of your balcony.
But I do believe that first. So I think the company's been around since 2012. I do believe of the 500,000 bikes that were sold, that first 100,000 really had lock-in.
Yeah.
I just don't believe it with the last.
So then,
It's
value
just
business. All those,
fine. Yeah, that's my fault. That's my problem. I mean, it's cool. It's impressive. It's a cool idea.
it's a great
It's a
idea.
great
It's
idea.
a good product.
It's not
but it's for a
worth-
small group of people. That's all I
Yeah.
think.
It's not
I
$8 billion.
agree.
This is
No, and-
robbery.
Yeah, they haven't proven 550,000 bikes isn't scale.
That's nothing.
Gosh, I'm upset.
And look how much money you have to spend to acquire the customer.
I was fighting for Peloton.
Yeah.
Still
And when
never
you
got
sell
one.
a bike for $2,500, 500,000 bike, I mean, it's easy to get a high revenue number without actually
Yeah.
making any money.
And I gotta believe, I mean, we get any sort of recession type thing, your fucking $2,000 bike is the first thing to go.
Or that $40 subscription
It's the first thing to go.
because you're just like, I'd never ride this
At least
thing.
at least when I'm tired or when I'm fat, I'll ride the bike. Because you don't need the subscription.
So, sorry.
to ride the bike.
I don't mean, I guess more what I mean is not go like you're gonna throw it out. I mean like no one's buying them.
I will buy your Peloton 5 cents on the dollar. Anyone who wants to sell it to me during the recession.
Yeah, you should start a site.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sad now.
And there'll be one class. It'll be me. I'll teach him. $5 a month.
Great.
You just scream in your iPhone. Yeah. Just like whatever. I'll put it on my Instagram story.
It's free.
Just fucking click my story at noon tomorrow, I guess. All right. I want to talk quickly about this ex-Google engineer that has been arrested. Take that, dork. For theft of knowledge. What do you call this?
So this is what pretty much happened. Engineer at Google that was in the self-autonomous vehicle department
Yeah.
left Google,
What was their company?
Waymo,
Waymo.
started a company called Auto,
Okay.
and then Uber bought that company like 6 months in for $800 million.
This is
Which is
great.
a joke.
And he's being accused of stealing all the trade secrets and thousands of documents from Google to start Auto, which Uber bought. Do you think Uber would have bought it for $800 million if they didn't know that Google had all the trade secrets? If he didn't have Google's trade secrets?
Absolutely not.
No way.
No chance.
They
There's
bought
no
secrets.
way.
Secrets are expensive.
Yeah.
Gosh, man.
So this is another example where he has to take the fall.
Yeah.
Like this
this
poor
is
bastard.
Uber's-
He's a rich bastard. Sorry, he sold this company for $800 million.
Yeah.
This rich bastard has to go to jail. He's facing like 33 years in prison.
Yeah.
But like
At least
what-
someone's going to jail.
And Google already paid the fine for this whole Google debacle. So they're completely
Uber knowingly bought trade secrets.
and just paid the fine.
yeah.
how long did Auto exist? Anyone know?
I think like 6 months.
Yeah.
So what are the chances that this was all a made-up scenario by this dork? Like, hey, I have all of these secrets.
Yeah.
No,
If
that's
I
exact-
leave,
that's exactly what
So I'm
happened.
saying he is the crook. He's
He-
not a poor bastard. He's
No,
a
but
fucking.
Uber knew. My point is, do you think Uber didn't know they were buying Google's
yeah,
trade
yeah,
secrets?
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
that's
Yeah, we're
obviously this
talking-
guy's a criminal.
Yeah, okay.
absolutely. But why would Uber buy this company
Yes.
that hadn't accomplished anything?
Yeah. We're gonna look the other way on that one. Let the dork go down.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, we're not putting anyone in jail for the opioid crisis. Why are we putting this
No,
dork in jail?
Are you kidding?
I actually don't think he should go to jail.
Why
What'd
would
you
we-
do? Just steal some secrets? These guys killed 400,000 people. 400,000 people.
Yeah, think about it. This dork's gonna go to jail.
He's going to go to jail. Because unfortunately, he pissed off Google, which has more money than
Yeah.
anyone, all the opioid pharmaceutical companies combined.
Oh my gosh, it's a weird world we live in.
So
man.
Uber,
If you're gonna steal
which
from
is-
the poor.
Auto, which
Big
is the
time.
company he started, was started in January 2016. He was sold to Uber in August of 2016. 8 months.
That's a hot business.
This little weasel knew exactly what he was doing.
But let's keep peeling layers off the onion.
Sure.
If you're going to steal, you steal from the poor and the weak.
$680 million.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
he didn't make 800.
Yeah.
Look
He
how
made
long it
680.
lasted for Purdue.
Yeah.
They stole
Lives. Yeah.
from 400,000 of them.
Yeah,
They
and
lasted
nothing
a long
happened.
time.
Yeah. And they made billions of dollars.
Oh,
This
boy.
guy stole from Google one time and he's done.
Yeah, you got to be careful how you play this game, man. Holy
Never
cow.
steal from powerful people.
Gosh. Okay. Last but not least, I want to end it off with some good, positive news for 2 out of the 3 of us. Actually, sorry, 3 out of the 5 of us, because Danny is an investor in Beyond.
Big investor.
So the other two is obviously you two. You guys are vegetarians. You are big fans of the Beyond brand. It looks like KFC has said, whoa, too much chicken hype going on that we're not playing a part in.
Yeah.
And they are releasing Beyond Meat fried chicken, essentially. They look like little chicken nugs.
The vegetarians are like, all you guys are getting high cholesterol and heart disease. We want to come play too.
We want some too.
Yes.
We want heart disease. Equal opportunity. But I'll tell you what, man. I mean, number one, we talked not that long ago about I asked, do they do chicken and when's chicken coming? These things look like little KFC chicken nuggies. When you dip them in that sauce.
What's the sauce taste like? Is it like a ketchup-y or is it like
why do you think? No, I'm sure they have a bunch of sauce. And I think they have they have Cajun and different flavors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's going to taste great.
So here's the big dilemma that I think I'm curious to see how fast food restaurants handle this.
Okay.
So now, because you have started including vegetarian cuisine into your menu, so Subway, if you noticed, every time they make a new sandwich, they put on a new plastic thing for every sandwich. The one here, I was noticing, I was like, this guy's doing it for every sandwich, taking out a new one, putting a new one, because he doesn't want the meat to touch the vegetarian person to touch the meat sandwich, right? So they've clearly taken that into some consideration.
Yep.
If you cook in the deep fryer, the same place where you cook the chicken, the vegan chicken.
Yeah, you're eating chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's just like every restaurant. We've talked about this.
Yeah, that's why I struggle to even order that stuff more and more.
But any vegetarian food at any restaurant, I would argue, is likely cooked on
not
the same.
at a vegan restaurant.
Sure. So if you exclusively
That's true,
go to a
but you
vegan
do
restaurant,
not go to exclusively vegan restaurants.
No, but I've asked a lot of times, like restaurants, like, where does it cook? They're like, look, we're honest. It's cooked in the same shit. Like, that happened at Yard House. I asked him. I'm like, where's this cooked? It's cooked in the same thing. I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Damn.
And I used to eat at Yard House.
Okay, I didn't think about that. But guess what? Most people aren't going to either. So
no one's going to ask.
No, and we're going to get a bucket of it in here.
KFC, you need to answer my damn question.
Here's what's going to happen.
anyways,
Pete's going to bring in a
KFC
bucket, and we're going to have it in 2 weeks, and you're going to be like, fuck it.
It's only in
Tastes
Atlanta
kinda
right now.
chicken.
Yeah, right now it's in Atlanta. There's lines around the block.
Yeah.
They're selling out. This is definitely like perfect timing for Beyond and KFC.
Yeah.
Because there's no way 2 weeks ago, if this had launched, that there'd be lines. No. It's the chicken war.
Yeah.
But what we talked about earlier is no one has done imitation chicken well at all.
Yeah.
They're all like rubbery. They just don't taste good.
Yep.
Curious if Beyond has been hiding this up their sleeve and waiting for the chicken wars to release it.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm excited. I'm excited to try it. I don't have high hopes, though.
You think it's going to taste like shit?
I think it's going to taste like shit. I think I'm going to have to just dunk it in sauce.
Well, I mean, isn't it's breaded, right?
Yeah.
That's going to taste good.
It's going to taste fine because
I don't know, man. There's still so much of the taste. Like, when I eat a Beyond Burger, I don't mind it if the, condiments and everything's good.
But that's what I was telling you. Craig's does a chicken parm.
Yeah.
The base of that chicken parm is a Gardein, which is not good at all. But they load it up,
With
fried
cheese.
and breaded and cheese and.
I've had
nuts.
buffalo freaking cauliflower that you guys always eat. Tastes delightful.
Buffalo
Yeah, load it
cauliflower
with
is
ranch.
Yeah, feed me
fantastic.
some raw cauliflower.
No one's eating raw cauliflower.
No one.
Losers.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm excited. I know we'll have it on the pod pretty soon. And I can't wait. Until then, we'll stick with our frozen tequila. And I'll have another Popeye sandwich.
Yeah. The frozen tequila guy is launching his own hard seltzer. He said he's going to send us some too.
Can't wait.
It's really tasty to get drunk these days. Yeah. Holy cow. Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you so much. As always, if you like the show, just tell a friend. Hit us up on Instagram. If you got any inside information, if you got any opinions, you got anything, hit us up on Instagram @GroupChatPod.
Sayonara.